Welcome to another episode of the Trash Talk Countdown Show. Oh, you see how I did it, but I did it slow. I did it, but I did it slow.
I
Yeah,
see ya. I see the
yeah.
train. Talk
Talk
countdown
Countdown
show.
Show. Oh,
I
listen,
feel you. I feel you. I
that's
feel you. I
your
feel you.
host Bobby. I'm
I'm here.
Shine,
I'm in the
and
building.
what's going on?
Man, look. Now, everybody knows that Bellator has the Grand Prix going on.
Yep.
In the same weight division that we're going to talk about tonight, which is the lightweight division. So we want to bring it to the UFC and we want to bring our own tournament, our own UFC lightweight division tournament in the UFC.
Why
And the
not?
whole twist of things is it's already happening, dog.
You got most of the fights already put together.
It's already happening, man.
I'm
But
telling
before
you.
we get into it, man, I just want to let everybody know we are brand ambassadors for Habits right now. Habits 365 days a year. We're trying to create positive habits every single day. And if you want to get on some of that gear, just go into the description, hit that link. Trash Talk BS will give you a 10% discount on any product or any apparel that you buy. So just go ahead, go to habits.com or habits365.com /Trash Talk BS. Get you some of that apparel. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man.
So
Let's
look,
get into it.
if you've been under a rock and you haven't been paying attention, a lot of things have been happening, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead on and get straight into it. There are a few announcements that would just make all of this make sense. So if we take our bracket made by the wonderful and lovely Bobby, can I say lovely? Is that weird?
Nah,
Don't
it's
say
kind of
lovely.
weird, man.
That's weird.
That's
All right, I won't say that.
kind of weird though. Hey, but we brothers though, man. So it ain't too weird, but
It
it's
ain't.
weird though.
It's weird. All right.
It's weird.
But drawn out. And then all we did was take the matchup and the two matchups that are already made, put them on opposite ends.
Yo,
And look at this. You got a tournament. Just that simple. So right now we got already booked is Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3. And then also what we got booked is the championship fight between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. So filling in the other two, you just go down the list. Tony Ferguson want to fight. Rafael dos Anjos. Dan Hooker wants to fight. Justin Gaethje wants to fight. Why not fight each other? So let's without further ado, let's break down some hypotheticals. Let's do some fight picks for real fights. Let's do some fight picks for fake fights. And then let's go down the rabbit hole and say who would win this tournament and do they have a chance against Khabib? That's the whole question.
that is a whole question, man.
Do they have a chance against Khabib? So we're going to do it in the same format. We're going to do 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to talk about the first round. We're going to talk about all the fights, and we're going to make our picks. And then we'll go into a deeper depth of all the other two rounds also. So without further ado, let's start round number 1. Now, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor.
It's gonna happen again, man. Number 3, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. Number 3, it's gonna happen again, man. I don't know about this fight.
I don't know about this fight. I'm actually more intrigued about this fight than I am about the second fight because there's a lot of moving parts that people aren't thinking of about things. They're not thinking about the aspect that Dustin Poirier took this fight over a title fight.
Really?
That's what word on the street is. Like he had a title fight, but he's like, nah, man, I'm gonna do the Conor thing again. So guess what is on Dustin's mind? That's money on money on my mind. Money on my mind.
Yep.
Money on my mind. So if he got that paycheck and went, ooh, we can make that much.
Ooh.
Like, look, hey, go get the blue panties because we ain't on his side. This is the Crips versus the Blood. You know what I mean? He was Crip walking all the way to the bank. So listen to me when I tell you this. The same thing that concerns me with Ngannou is like, does that money go to your head?
True.
Now,
and it could be an Andy Ruiz thing too, man.
Yeah. Connor come from a long line of money. By line, I mean that's lines in his days that he has been making money. So he ain't necessarily fighting for money right now. He's got a lot on the line, and he's been backed into a corner, even though he's on top. So with that being said, is Connor gonna show up and he's gonna say, John, look, fix this, and he's gonna go work and he's gonna do the work every single day until what is it, June? Is that when they fight?
I think so. I think it's in June.
June the 10th. Yeah. They fight June the 10th. So this whole fight dynamic just changed.
Here's a couple questions for you. Is Connor going to figure out how to not get his legs beat the hell up?
Yes.
Number 2, is Connor going to have that chip on his shoulder that he's had in the past that made him the Connor he is today?
I want to say yes, because at this point, at this stage, with this much on the line, until June the 10th, he can cut out the distractions, because this will make or break the brand. The whole Mystic Mac thing is, for lack of a better word, kind of gone, you know?
True.
So he's got to bring something back. He's got to bring some mystic magic.
True.
Trademark.
That being said, who do you have winning this fight? Because I know who I have. Who do you got?
Unpopular opinion to a lot of people that don't necessarily like the antics that he does and all this, that, and the other. But I think in the third, I'm going to go against the grain that I always do, because they always say the person who wins the second fight almost always wins the third. And I think Connor is going to pull this out. And then, you know, because you've got, let's see, Mike says, but does Connor really care? He made his money. That's the thing. Same thing, you know, not sort of John Jones's. You know what I mean? Like, John Jones has already been in the limelight. He's been up there. He's done it. You know, I feel like Dustin beating Connor right now lifts him off into the stratosphere. There's so many more doors open. That's new money. You know? Connor kind of got old money now. So he's got to be fighting for something else. Otherwise, he just wouldn't do it. He can't just be showing up for a paycheck. There's no way. He makes too much money in other revenue streams to be showing up for a paycheck. So he's got to be motivated. I don't know. Who you got?
Well, the same thing with Dustin, too. You can say the same thing. So I like this comment in the comment section, but you can say the same thing with Dustin. Dustin has now made the money. So is he going to have the same fire?
Yeah.
And then number 3.
But I don't know. He just made the money. This ain't that old money.
He's been fighting for a while too now. He's been making a little bit of change, but
he ain't been making that Lil Wayne.
He ain't making that Lil Wayne. That milli.
He ain't making that kind of money. And Mike brings up a good point too, in saying like, well, John ain't making that Connor money. Not even so much as that, but John had a what did it say? He had his own T-shirt that said, what is it, Bones Nose, with Nike before all that went down. With him, I think, did he hit the pregnant lady? I don't know what he did. One of the times he got in trouble.
I don't know what he did.
He's been on that stage in the limelight with people in his face for a long time. So asking him to take a step back now to concentrate on Ngannou is the same thing I feel like with Conor McGregor. It's like, he could take a step back and focus on this until June. But Dustin, hey, you know what his new ringtone is, right?
What is it?
They calling me. Because they calling him. So I don't know. I like Connor.
I like Connor in this one too, man. I feel like he comes with a chip on the shoulder, an edge, because there's something to that Mystic Mac. I like Connor in this one because Connor wants to make more money. I mean, it's always good to have enough money, but it's always great to have more money. And I feel like Connor wants to be on another level with that money. I feel like he has plans in his life to evolve himself into, like, he's in the mainstream, but he's trying to be worldwide. That's all I'm gonna say about that situation.
Okay, okay. Now look, we're gonna jump down to the bottom because this is the only other confirmed fight, and then we'll go to the two hypothetical fights. But this fight is
I
low
don't like it.
is low key the most like
I don't like it.
disappointing banger of a fight
Yeah.
though.
I wish
It
it
is
was I wish it was Justin Gaethje.
we all do, but it's the most it's the most disappointing banger of a fight
Yeah.
because on paper, if you just close your eyes and I tell you what Michael Chandler be doing, and you close your eyes and I tell you what Charles Oliveira be doing, you be like, I'd like to see those two guys possibly get in there and mix it up a little,
Mix it up.
But then you look at the rest of the division and then you look at the title fight that they scheduled and you go, come on, man, for real.
Yeah.
But this is a dynamic fight though. The question is who wins.
I feel in this fight right here, I feel like Michael Chandler has something to prove, especially coming from Bellator. He has a name to put to that championship title belt per se, and this is for the title. And I feel like Charles Oliveira has been looked down upon, and he has the skills to be a champion. But I don't like him in this fight. I feel like Michael Chandler does something and comes through in some way. I don't know exactly how, but I feel like he comes through in some way. And I'm putting the question back on you, man. How does Michael Chandler win this fight? And who do you got winning this fight?
So first off, I need to break it down like this. He should have. I believe Charles Oliveira would have been good if he went by Olivier.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
if Olivier go out there and hit you with that choke,
Olivier?
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Olivier?
Look, listen to me when I tell you this, man. Michael Chandler's like what? What is it? 30, 32, 33, 34, 35?
Yeah.
We'll say 35. If he ain't 35, then hey man, don't shoot no double on me. That man can move.
He can.
That
To be that old, he can move.
Is dynamic AF. When I tell you that the avenue that you think Charles Oliveira has to win is not there, it's not there. I don't think Michael Chandler is going to be in any situation where Charles Oliveira, you would say, oh, he has the clear advantage here. With that being said, what is left? Knockout. I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to say knockout like a Adesanya walk off or a Mark Hunt walk off. I mean like a referee stoppage from strikes because he put it on him. So I got Chandler. I like Chandler.
I got Chandler in this one too, man. I like Chandler in this one. I feel like Oliveira will show up. I don't know if he will show out. I feel like Michael Chandler beats him in the later rounds, and I feel like the knockout situation that you just explained will happen. So Michael Chandler comes out with the dub in this one. The dub deuce. And since we got a minute left on the clock, man, let's talk about the other two fights, the other make believe fights that can happen. They should happen because since these two fights are happening, you got to keep Justin active, as well as Tony Ferguson hasn't had a fight in a while too, so he has to come back active as well. And what better fight to give him, which is Rafael dos Anjos, and Justin Gaethje's already beat Dan Hooker, so what? Let's do it again. Let's run it back. You got time. Let's run it back. So who you got in these two fights? Who you got? Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker, and who you got in the Tony Ferguson versus Rafael dos Anjos?
So with that being said, I think the Justin Gaethje fight, the reason why we like that Dan Hooker fight is because it is more of a placeholder type deal is what they're going to do. Justin Gaethje, if he fights Dan Hooker again, is going to win. But Justin Gaethje gets a paycheck, and then you get the aspect where these two guys fought for a title. Justin Gaethje fought. He's not coming off of a loss, and then he can fight again for the title.
Exactly.
So I like Justin Gaethje to go it on and take this one. Now, how about yourself?
I like Justin Gaethje as well. And the next fight, Rafael dos Anjos and Tony Ferguson, that's the more intriguing fight right there because there's two individuals that I feel like in this fight are very evenly matched.
Well, that depends on who shows up. Because if Tony Ferguson of the. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that. And I apologize for saying that. I want to take that to be stricken off the record. Maybe we're in an instance where we didn't know who Tony Ferguson was in the first place. We all tried to, what's the word? Put it out of our mind. Forget about it. Whatever word that is, find that word and put it in your head. We tried to do that with the Lando Venata fight. A short notice fight that Lando Venata took that Tony Ferguson didn't look that great in. Very hittable. And then we're like, nah, it's cool. He could be Habib. We just let that go. You know, oh, it's cool. He could be Habib. Rafael dos Anjos is Best Buy does all of their sales online, pretty much. But their brick and mortar store is there for a reason. It's always there for you, and it will get the job done in a pinch. And that's Rafael dos Anjos at 155. You can't bet against him.
You can't
bet against him.
And I feel like Tony Ferguson, especially in his last fights, his soul has gotten beaten out of him. And I feel like he's the same individual when he fights now as he did in the past. And they all said that he had something for Habib. And after his last fight against what was Justin Gaethje,
yeah, what would it have been
when he got murdered?
What would it have been?
Murdered.
Yeah,
he was a walking mummy in the cage, just getting tagged over and over again. I feel like Rafael dos Anjos comes out and get this dub, man, because I don't feel like Tony Ferguson's the same individual.
All right, before we move on to round number 2, Mike says, I don't think Justin will fight anyone if it's not for the belt.
He's coming off a loss.
That could also be true.
He's coming off a loss, though.
He's coming off a loss. I feel like he's got it.
What better way to get, like you just said previously, what better way to get some money in his pocket than to fight Dan Hooker and then fight for the belt?
Yeah. Can't do the Tony Ferguson again because it's too new. So, yeah.
Man, this tournament is low key happening right now as we speak.
Kinda. We might have did it. So hey, look,
we spoke this into
UFC. I'll take 10%.
Yeah,
I'll
take 25%.
You know they call me Sean. Just buy me a Shelby.
Exactly.
That's all I need.
Before we get into the semifinal rounds and we get to pick exactly who we think is going to go to the finals, I got to say something right now. We are brand ambassadors of Habits 365 days a year. So if you want to get some of that apparel, in the description, hit that link, habits365.com/trash talk BS. Get you some of that apparel, man. Hey, 10% off. Can't beat that.
Boom. Look. Round number 2. This is all hypothetical. We don't know if this is going to happen. Hey, look, if Conor gets a dynamic win, you know, he might skip the line and Gaethje going to be big mad. But let's just say let's just say everything works out to plan, and as it stands, if whoever wins that title fight, Gaethje's going to be in line next whether he fights or not. So let's start with the first one. Conor McGregor.
I got to say something about Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, to me, has to win 2 fights before he fights for the belt. I don't care how popular he is.
Correct.
What better way, especially in this tournament, for him to beat Dustin Poirier and the Conor Poirier 3, beats Dustin, and then they give him Rafael dos Anjos,
which we were already happy to see.
A person he's supposed to beat, and then fight for the belt. This is legitimately can happen, dog. Seriously.
I don't think it's you don't look when you look at Rafael. What the issue that I have with this is we were perfectly happy to watch that title fight. We were perfectly happy to watch that title fight, and we didn't know if Conor was going to be able to pull that off. Now, when he fell out, we got the Nate Diaz fight, and we just kind of stumbled upon like, man, I didn't know I liked this fight, but I do.
Yeah.
You know, but we were perfectly happy to watch that fight. So, with that being said, if they get that fight back together, I think they just take off from where it was. Like, nah, I was going to beat you back then, and I'm going to beat you now. And then, I don't know, I like it. But the question is, to you, Bob, is who wins?
Man, I feel like in this fight, I swear, if he beats Dustin, and he gets his mojo, his juju back, I feel like he goes on a little run. And Lil Run is a 2-fight win streak. I feel like he beats Rafael dos Anjos and goes to the title fight in this imaginary tournament.
So we're gonna go with Connor then. We're gonna go with Connor. Cause I it's hard to bet against Connor.
It's hard. It's hard.
And if there's any time that somebody's gonna make a last hurrah, it's gonna be now and against these certain type of fighters. So let's get to a more dynamic type fight.
Dude, this
Justin
fight right here.
Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
This fight right here.
Listen, has anybody else come into the UFC and made such a splash? Guys that came over, one took too long was Ben Askren. Didn't make this kind of splash.
No.
Eddie Alvarez was the champ. Came over. Didn't make this kind of splash. Will Brooks. Gilbert Melendez. Nobody has made this splash. He only fought once. And it looked good. Now the question is, can he get through Justin Gaethje?
Man, it's going to be a great fight that I want to see. It's a low key matchup where it's not two big names. So like if you hear the name Habib, you got to watch it. You hear the name Conor, you got to watch it. You hear the name John Jones, you're going to watch it, even though that he's not going to excite you in any way pre, post, or during the fight. You just watch it because you just feel like he's the pound for pound number one badass in MMA. And Francis Ngannou is one of those other names. These are two names that are not like top tier names that low key this fight is going to be incredible. And Justin Gaethje is going to come in. He's going to throw those dub deuces and those big punches. He's going to try to knock your boy Michael Chandler out. And then Michael Chandler just brings a different aspect to the game, man. He's so fast, he's so quick. He gets in, gets out. He does some things that we haven't seen from some fighters in a long time. And for me though, I feel like Michael Chandler, the new blood is always good blood. And I feel like new blood being good blood, especially in this matchup, I feel like he comes out with a dub in this matchup. What you feel like?
Dub deuces. So listen to me when I tell you this. Let me break it down to you like this. I say a lot of things and I try and think of like outside factors that might deal into a fight. And you take Michael Chandler and you say that we say he's gonna beat Charles Oliveira. That makes him the UFC lightweight champion of the world. And he still has a chip on his shoulder. And he still is not going to be like, he's not going to feel like he's legitimate until he takes these guys down. So you got a guy that's motivated even after he's the champion with all the notoriety and everything going, my job is not finished. And let me tell you, like I told you in the first round, that boy can move.
Yes.
Ooh.
That boy moves.
So
man.
look, I agree. Mike said I think Chandler takes Gaethje down and pounds him out. I did all that stuff where I had all that super respect for Gaethje's wrestling before the Habib fight, and I know Habib is Habib, but I need you to know I don't think he's been doing anything wrestle wise for a while. So I think Michael Chandler goes out there, out wrestles him, and pounds him out.
Yeah. And Gaethje in his past fights have been more of a stand-up kind of guy. So if Chandler comes in and takes him to the ground and do some ground and pound, I feel like he takes his win. I don't think it's going to be an easy one, though. I don't think it's going to be an easy one. Michael Chandler's face is not going to look pretty after this one, but I think Michael Chandler comes out with a dub.
Dude. So, did we just make ourselves a title fight?
We just made a title fight, man. And that's an incredible one, man. I feel like it's a good title fight. But before we get into the title fight, man, I got to get into something, man. We are brand ambassadors for Habits 365. Go to habits365.com/trash talk BS. Get you a 10% discount. Along with that, you don't see it on this one, but you'll see it again next week. Your ad could be in the Trash Talk Countdown show. All you got to do is hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
Hey, greatest email account ever made. Let's get into this title fight, man. God dog, this title fight between Conor and Michael Chandler might be, you got a big name in Conor. You got a big name in Bellator, but now even bigger name than what he was in Bellator now that he's in the UFC. and winning 2 fights, getting the belt and defending it against Justin Gaethje, and now fighting Conor McGregor, the UFC's, what would you say, face of the UFC?
That so the what's it? What is it? Unforced
Spokesperson?
yeah. If it's like the aggressively taken face of the UFC, they can't get his face off that. That's what it is.
Even his liquor is in the middle of the cage.
Hey, look, I swear, this is what happened. You ever get with somebody and they talking and they like, how much is it? And you don't want to be like, man, nah, I don't even want it. You just tell them a really high price,
Yeah.
and they don't even flinch, and they be like, whatever, done. I bet that's what the UFC was like. We can't tell them no, so we'll give them this high price. And Conor was like, oh, done. And now
Gotcha.
they advertising for him in the center of the cage. But neither here nor there. I'm here to tell you this right now. If Michael Chandler makes it to this point where he fights Conor, I can guarantee you he will be a household name.
Yes.
I can guarantee you he won't have the same fame and notoriety worldwide as your Conor McGregor. Nobody will. No one will. There can only be one, and he might as well be Conor Highlander McGregor. It just ain't gonna happen. But to a household name, just like every other champion, John Jones-esque of a name, from zero to that Lyoto Machida win, that's where he's gonna be at. I can guarantee you. And he got that name that looked good on the back of shirts, and he got a lot of people that also got the Chandler last name. He got a lot going for him. Let me tell you that. So when it comes down to the fight, though, like I said in round 2, like I said in round 1, that boy can move.
That boy can move.
You're talking. The only way that I can equate this fight is this. If Chad Mendes had a full camp and was the same size as Conor when they fought for the interim belt, it would have been a much different story. You're talking Michael Chandler is a way better version of your Chad Mendez's of the world, that is dynamic, that can move, that will shoot in, take him down, and Conor ain't getting up. He's not getting up. So, with that being said, if Michael Chandler can avoid that left hand, which at 155 may not be as dynamic as we think. May not be as dynamic as we think. That left hand was punishment against 145ers because he was stuffing himself in a weight class and he was way bigger than them frame wise.
True.
So, if it ain't got that thump like that, I don't know how he's gonna take him out. So I gotta go. Michael Chandler. Who you got?
Now look, in this fight, like I said before, Conor McGregor, the face of the UFC, not because they want him to be the face of the UFC, but he has forced his face on the UFC. When you hear UFC or you talk about UFC, you talk about Conor as well. And for Conor to be, especially right now, coming off of 2 losses, and still be the face and still get a big fight against Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier wants to fight him because it's Conor McGregor. When he could have fought Michael Chandler for the title, I still gotta say that Michael Chandler comes out with a dub in this one right here, because Michael Chandler has something to prove, and he has the speed, the versatility, and I think he's gonna do something just like Nate Diaz did, was take him to the ground, or Habib did, take him to the ground, push him into those deep waters, and then take his soul. And then the one thing I do like about Michael Chandler, especially about not during the fight, but after the fight, that man got a talk game, man. That man
He do talk good.
Talk game, man. And he can not only put himself on the map for his fighting style, but the way he puts himself out there towards the people, he is a likable person. And he talks trash without talking trash. Because in his last post-fight interview, he said some things that's like, oh, shoot, hey, I hear you. But it's like,
yeah,
I got respect for you, but I'm still going to beat you, man. That being said, we got to get into, now he's the champion. He has defended his belt three times, well, twice. Do you feel like Habib comes out of retirement and fights Michael Chandler since his new blood? But
Now,
before I get into your answer, though,
uh-huh.
I gotta say something right now. We are brand ambassadors for Habits 365 days a year. They got apparel out there, name brand apparel, trying to create positive habits each and every day. If you want to get some of your apparel from Habits, go to habits365.com/trash talk BS. Get your little discount while you're in there as well. And not on this screen, but on the other screen, you'll see it next week. If you want your ad in the bottom right corner, all you gotta do is hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
greatest email account ever made, man. But let's get into this this championship fight between two champs, because right now you can say that Michael Chandler is the interim lightweight champion, and the real champion Habib has retired. He is 29-0. Does he come back? Does he pull Mayweather and try to get that one win to get him to that 30-0?
Yeah. Okay.
Because it sounds better 30-0 rather than 29-0. What you say?
It do. So look, like I said, what was it, 2 shows ago? Like I said 3 shows ago. Like I said a few shows ago. I don't see anyone getting Habib to come out of retirement. And if I had to choose one person for him to come out of retirement for, it would be Michael Chandler. Because go down the list. Gaethje, he beat him. Conor, he beat him. If Poirier takes the way all the way here, he beat him. Anybody else on the list doesn't stand a chance. The only one that we would be like, hey man, if there was a chance that you could come out of retirement and do this, it's the Michael Chandler fight. And Michael Chandler might light a fire under his belt and get him to go, all right, maybe this will put the nail in the coffin. You know, can Habib make 155 again?
I don't know.
He
might be eating good right now.
Eating good in the neighborhood right now, let me tell you. But what do you see Michael Chandler pulling Habib out of retirement?
Man, I don't see him pulling out of retirement, man. But do I want to see him pull out of retirement?
Oh, we do.
Hell
for sure.
yeah, I want to see.
For sure.
I want to see Habib come in here and treat the new blood like he treats everyone else. Comes in and dominates.
Man. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I don't even know if the UFC wants to allow that. I don't think they want to get St. Pierre'd. Okay, Michael Chandler talks that good game. This is the worst case scenario for the UFC. Bellator champ is their champ again. They probably don't like that. Habib comes back, takes the title, and then leaves again. They probably won't like that either. But if there's anybody that has that talk, has the game, has the fighting style, has what you need to be your champion in the most dynamic division, it would have to be a guy like Michael Chandler. So, with that being said, does the UFC want Habib to come and St. Pierre him? Take the title and be like, man, I was just trying to prove to y'all that I'm the best. I'm out.
And
Peace.
not come back.
And not come back. Or do you want to see Michael Chandler and you go, even if we take this list and you take Michael Chandler and he fights Gaethje, man, smoking. He fights Conor, man, smoking. Dustin gets back in the win column. He fights Dustin. I'll watch it, you know? You get, who else is on the list? Oliveira's still going to be on the list. Dan Hooker still be on the list.
Man, if he beats Oliveira, I don't want to see it again. Dan Hooker, don't want to see it again.
But you can throw people at him.
This is not like the bantamweight division. I think it's the bantamweight division where there's like 10 guys that can easily be top in that division. Right here, you only really have 6 guys that can be top in this division. And if Michael Chandler already beats 3 out of those 6, do you really want to see him fight some of the same guys over and over again?
No.
I feel like it'd be a light heavyweight division all over again, where John Jones went through every individual that was in the light heavyweight division, and then it got boring. And now we don't even talk about the light heavyweight division. like we
Right,
used to in the
right.
past.
But
I feel
listen,
like if he does that, he'd rather go up or down. So
but listen to this though. Listen to this. You've got a whole bunch of different things that you could do. Take the light heavyweight division that you said, for instance, and let's look at it like this. Take light heavyweight, go past 5, give me a name, go. See, you can't. Take
no,
take lightweight, go past 5, give me some names. Who you got? Kevin Lee, Paul Felder. You got people in there with the name that can also go into placeholder role against Michael Chandler. Any of these names against Habib? No, we don't want to see it. Any of these names against Michael Chandler? I don't know. And then you got the looming Bellator champion in what is it? Which one's 155? Is it Patricio or Patricky? I think it's Patricky. The Pitbull brothers. Last time Chandler lost, it was the one of them. Now you
True.
got this whole dynamic where Bellator might do the same and release that, and we have a dynamic fight that we've seen before in the Bellator cage, now in the UFC cage, in saying that this whole time y'all thought y'all had the greatest 155ers, but y'all didn't. We did. There's a lot that goes on with it. So I think the UFC makes a better case for Michael Chandler being the champion and Habib not coming back. Because if they fall, is that what you're gonna ask?
now here's the thing that you said that Bellator has the best 155 in the UFC because they have two of the champions who went to the UFC and now fighting for the championship, and now they're the champion and they've been reigning over the UFC. Then, do you feel like Habib comes back and does something where he's like, we put UFC back on the map?
No, he ain't got that kind of what's the word? Loyalty to the UFC. No, the UFC, long gone are the days that Dana can take Chuck to another division. Not another division, but another organization to be like, nah, I'm bringing my guy. Let's see what's up. Nah, this ain't nobody coming to the aid if Bellator goes, nah, homie, we got the best. We willing to release them out of their contracts to go beat up your guys. You don't got anybody. Nope. They're gonna fight against Bellator guys and against the UFC. No one's teaming up with the UFC.
Okay.
I don't think that's the case. Now, the looming question is, can Michael Chandler beat Habib? Probably not.
Well, I mean, we ain't gonna see it, but I don't think he can.
Probably not.
I think Habib has too much in his bag to lose to Michael Chandler. Even though Michael Chandler is quick, fast on his feet, gets in, gets out, throws punches and bunches, and he can also go to the ground with it. Habib is on a different level on the ground. And plus, like you said in the past, when you have that thing that everybody's looking for you to do, and they're scared that you're going to do it, which is take him to the ground and take him to deep waters, you can just stand and bang all you want to because they have that fear. They have that fear that you're going to take them to the ground. And it just seems much easier for you to do things standing up rather than trying to take them to the ground. And I feel like that's what Habib does if that fight ever happened. And for me, he retains the belt, is a legitimate lightweight division champion, and he stays the champion, retires the champion, 30-0 if he ever comes back. But I don't think he comes back.
I don't think he will either. And last thing before we get out of here, what you had said about Habib and his game. Michael Chandler has something that's better than a lot of these fighters that he is going to use to win his fights. But he does not have that. Let's put these guys in perspective. Habib, let's put Ngannou. He does not have something in his pocket that if he pulls it out will change you as a fighter. If Habib gets on top of you and when this is over, you go, I need to rethink my whole strategy of life and what I've been doing because it either wasn't enough or I've been doing it wrong. Habib has something that will change you as a fighter, and that is hard to deal with. And Ngannou do too. You go out there and get hit with one of them Ngannou's, you like, what was I thinking? You know? Yeah. So, with that being said, I don't know if he beats him, but I don't see him coming out of retirement either.
Now, before we get out of here, I got to put this out there. If you would like to see us do another tournament of the UFC in a different division, just put it in the comment section Let us know what division that you would like for us to do. We'll put together some kind of tournament like we did here and talk about it. But I feel like this was fun, man, because I feel like this is currently happening right now
It's
as
gonna.
we speak.
What do you mean? It's gonna unfold exactly like this. So we
Exactly
will
like
come back
this.
to this video in about
And
what?
tell
Let's
you.
say 2 years, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna play like a snippet of the video, and then it's gonna go to me, and I'm gonna be like, "I told you so."
Yeah. And then I'm gonna be like, why don't you just go ahead and do a Grand Prix in the UFC, Dana? Because that's what you literally just did.
No, this is what's gonna happen with that one. You ain't even. We don't even gotta do that. It's gonna be like, hey, he's gonna go watch the boo, and we're like, hey, what up, Dane? Because that's what I'm gonna call him. What up, Dane? Yeah, no. Yeah, that first one was free, but no. Don't make that fight. Don't make that fight. He gonna be calling us for directions. This is what's gonna happen.
I feel you. We're gonna be in it. We're gonna be in the room with everyone else making fights. I feel you. I can do that. I can do that.
I could do that. But look,
Before we get out of here, though, man. Look, like I said in the past, in the future, this is what we're gonna be. Brand ambassadors for habits 365 days a year, man. We're trying to create positive habits. I'm just trying to let everybody know you are doing great. I'm doing great. Everybody's doing great. If you want to get some of that habits gear, go ahead and get into the description. Hit that link. 10% off. Trash Talk BS. Hey, this is what we doing, baby. This is what we doing. Also, want to get your ad in the bottom right corner. Not on this page, but on our current Trash Talk Countdown show. Just hit us up at,
my feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
hey man, greatest email account ever made.
But look, it's been real.
It's always real, man.
It's been good,
And it's always good.
but it ain't been real good.
Hey, never that.